So here's what's wrong. Purposelessness, lack of fulfillment, tragedy all around. We as humans need lives that fill us with pride, and we as a society need to meet the victims of poor circumstances where they are, and to help them effectively, and to help them with sensitivity. We forget that humans exist for the sake of one another. And here's what's to blame. Lack of personal engagement, apathy generated by not knowing what our fellow humans are going through, even as our own lives blur into a sea of indistinguishable days that just run together and run together and run together. Humans exist for the sake of one another. And we are looking to the wrong things to make us feel fulfillment. Expensive items, luxurious lifestyles, keeping up with the Joneses. Well, where does that get us? Our lives are blurring together into a sea of days that are lives, that are days that are our lives, and we're surrounded by piles of meaningless junk, which are, by the way, hurting us, and still we don't feel like our lives are what they could be, what they should be, what they will be. We are numb to the pain of people just like us, and we're numb to the lack of vibrant self-actualization that might be happening in our lives. Humans exist for the sake of one another. So what do? We listen to the stories of people around us, and we become invested in those stories now that we know what they actually are. And we work to help our neighbors fulfill their potential, to fulfill their vision. So now that we know what's wrong and how we can help them and why they're unfortunate and how they're unfortunate, we realize that it's not just us helping them, they are helping us. Humans exist for the sake of one another. We're just as unfortunate as they are. It's just that we're unfortunate in our own way. This is an us thing, so we work together to help one another. So here's the thing. I want you to perform some kind of massive physical challenge, something that is going to take you months to train for, such as running a marathon, or doing the 100 push-ups challenge, or hiking the Pacific Trail, something that big. And while you are training for it, I want you to post constant updates to your social media, to tell your friends at parties, to tell your friends during coffee dates. You are doing this massive physical challenge, and you are doing it to raise awareness of a problem that you know about personally, a problem that you are personally invested in, something that is not vague or across the world, but something that is standing in front of you, and you know what it is, and you know why it is, and you want to be of effective service. So you tell them what you're doing while you train. Did you do 20 push-ups today? Great. Get on social media, tell them you did 20 push-ups, you're trying to do 100, and you're doing it to raise awareness for this issue that you are raising awareness for. This is something you can do to help. This is how fitness can become philanthropy, which is love of humanity, and advocacy is a super important part of philanthropy. Why? Because humans exist for the sake of one another. Train your body. Explain to your friends, educate your friends, and trust them to want to help. Fuel your body and fuel the change. Humans exist for the sake of one another. Humans exist for the sake of one another. By generating money or giving money or raising money, you are making the change. You are being the change you want to see in the world. And by knowing what you're meant to do. You begin to feel the sense of purpose that you before were lacking. By being a source of that change, you are doing your part to turn around the vicious cycle of ubiquitous tragedy that exists in every neighborhood of our world. So run that marathon, do the 100 push-up challenge, hike that Pacific Trail, and tell your friends about your physical challenge. Tell your friends about the problem that you are facing, that you are working to change, that you are lifting above the sea of noise and making a focal point, because humans exist for the sake of one another, and you are a philanthropist because you love humanity. Tell your friends everything, because this is movement for movement. This is the process of messy self-actualization. This is changing the sickening horror of all the messy, tragic, violent, painful events that happen every day in uncomfortably close ways. Humans exist for the sake of one another. Please like and subscribe.